Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Football is Life. Today we're going to be looking at the top 5 managers of the Premier League season 2021-2022. Kicking it off at number 5, we've got Pep Guardiola. Yes, he's one of the best managers in the world, but he only comes at number 5 on my list because you expect him to do good. Their record, they won the Premier League, good achievement. Semi-final in FA Cup, should have done better. Semi-final in Champions League, choked and knocked out. And they were knocked out early in the League Cup. But he's got the strongest squad, the strongest budget, everything in place. They continuously improve their squad. Winning the league is almost minimum for Pep Guardiola. So that wasn't enough for him to get high on my list. So I've had him as the 5th best manager. At number 4, I've got David Moyes at West Ham. Understated how well West Ham are doing under David Moyes. And how well all the players are playing for him, and how Moyes got all the players just hitting the right notes. Bowen, Rice, Antonio, the defenders, Dawson, Zuma. Now people should remember, when Moyes took over West Ham, they were just about above the relegation zone. They had just sacked Pellegrini. They were a massively underachieving clubs, and then Moyes got brought in. A lot of people were skeptical about Moyes. How well is he really going to do? Well, he's done amazing because he's turned it around. This season, they finished 7th in the league with 16 wins, 8 draws and 14 losses. They could have achieved higher, but they kind of choked near the end of the league. The players just ran out of gas. They reached the semi-final of Europa League. They were disappointed to be knocked out of that. In the Carling Cup, they had a good run. They knocked out Man United and Man City. In the league, some of their notable wins include 1-0 victory over Tottenham, 3-2 victory over Liverpool, a 3-2 victory over Chelsea, and a 2-1 loss to Man City, but it was a valiant effort by them. But ask the West Ham fans how much they love Moyes, and they love him loads because all the players play for him. He's got a structure in place, not about the most amazing football, and it's not just Route 1 football with the hoofer. They play a mixture of both. But what West Ham fans will tell you is with the players, they give it their all, their 100%. And that's a credit to the manager. When a team is hard work, doing a lot of tracking back and pressing and running because they believe in the manager. And that's why you have players like Fornals, Bowen, Rice. So Moyes comes in at number 4 in my list. Number 3 of the top 5 managers this season, it is Antonio Conte at Tottenham. Now, he took over Tottenham, a team that was broken. They had just sacked their manager after 2 months in charge. Their captain, talisman, Harry Kane wants to leave. It took a while for Tottenham to buy into the way he plays, but because he's such a world-class manager, worked with them in the training, the players bought into his ideas, and Tottenham just had a remarkable finish to the season. They finished 4th. And great achievement because no one expected Tottenham to get top 4 and they got it. You have all the players buying into his style. Son and Kane just took a different level of form. Kane, he forgot about that summer, what happened. He just went back to his normal self. Son was so amazing. You know, he was one of the players of the season. He was in contention for players of the season. And it was Conte who took over from them in November. Notable results for Conte are 2-2 draw against Liverpool, a 3-2 victory over Man City, 5-1 win against Newcastle. Now you're saying Newcastle might not be a big victory, but it is. Newcastle are that good. Another 1-1 against Liverpool, which pretty much dented their chances of winning the league. And finally, an end of the season derby, a decider to see who gets top 4 between Tottenham and Arsenal. All the momentum was with Arsenal. Tottenham were chasing, all the pressure was on Tottenham. And what does Conte do? It produces a masterclass. Tottenham win 3-0 against their rivals at home, a sweet victory, and they get 4th spot. Conte done an amazing job at Tottenham to get top 4 Champions League football above Arsenal, Man United. For that, he comes in at number 3 on my list. Coming in at number 2, it is Thomas Frank at Brentford. So to me, what Thomas Frank did with Brentford is a bigger achievement than what Pep Guardiola did with Man City. If you compare it to what kind of team he has and where he was able to lead them to. Brentford were the 3rd best team last season to qualify. They had to qualify through the playoff where it was Watford and Norwich were miles ahead of Brentford in the championship. Unlike Watford and Norwich, who finished 20th and 19th, Brentford ended the season in 13th. They have the lowest payroll, the lowest budget. All the players are made out of League 2, League 1 lower players. They finished 13th. A comfortable Premier League position for such a small club like Brentford. Their first time in the Premier League in about over 50 years or something like that. Just a small club in West London. Their football stadium is like a leisure centre with 20,000 capacity. But Thomas has them playing good, positive football. They finished 13th in the league with 13 wins, 7 draws and 18 losses. very respectable for such a small team. The clubs that finished below Brentford, that didn't get relegated, were Aston Villa, Everton, Southampton, Leeds. All four of them are historic, much bigger budget, much better players, more Premier League experience, and they all finished below Brentford. You have to give it to Brentford and the work Thomas Frank's done. Some of the notable results are, of course, a 2-0 victory against Arsenal on the opening day of the Premier League, a very historic victory. A 3-3 draw against Liverpool, 2-1 victory over West Ham, and 4-1 win against Chelsea in Stamford Bridge. Great result. A 0-0 draw against Spurs. Again, a great result. So approaching the end of the season, they were flirting with the relegation zone. So what do they do when they're under the pressure? They have results like they win 2-0 against West Ham, 2-1 against Watford, 3-0 Southampton, and a 3-2 victory over Everton to comfortably finish 13th and avoid the relegation zone. Purely for the fact that how good of a start they had and how well they ended, and they have such a small budget, small payroll. Thomas Frank has to be second highest manager of the season. And number one, it has to be Jurgen Klopp at Liverpool. Yes, Jurgen Klopp is my number one manager of the season. There's no really debate about it, I reckon. They went for the quadruple. All season, you're talking about a historic season. Are they going to be one of the greatest teams ever? They kind of fell short, lost the Champions League final and lost the Premier League by 1 point. But it was still a good season. Liverpool played in every single game that was available to them this season because they won the FA Cup, they won the Carling Cup, and they lost in the Champions League final. So they played every game possible. And Liverpool are a great team. Klopp built them a great team, but they're not the biggest spenders. They have the 4th biggest payroll in the league after City, United and Chelsea. But Klopp makes Liverpool on par with Man City as the 2 best teams in the league or in the world. So Klopp and Pep have almost identical records. Pep usually pips him by a point or 2, but Pep is number 5 on my list and Klopp is number 1 because Pep has such a bigger resource than Klopp. I have to respect Klopp's achievements more. You have stuff like Man City. This is the type of resources Man City has. They spent 100 million in the summer on a superstar like Jack Grealish, who spent most of his time on the bench. Liverpool spent 40 million on a winger called Luis Diaz from Porto. I've never really heard of him that much, but alright, he was alright. They bought him in January, 40 million, and he's an instant star of the league, Luis Diaz. To me, that's a credit to Klopp and the culture he's built at Liverpool and what he's able to do. This season, it was going to be a historical season. It was going to be one of the greatest seasons ever. Unfortunately, it's not. They just done the cup double. They're no different to Arsenal team in 94 and Liverpool team in 01 that won 3 cups. But it was this close. It was just margins, fine margins. So Klopp's record this season: Carling Cup victory, good win. FA Cup victory, another nice win. Champions League final, lost, unlucky. Second in the league, lost the league by 1 point. 28 wins, 8 draws, and only 2 losses. It's a shame the fine margins hurt them, but the achievement is still there. Klopp has to be best manager of the Premier League this season. So that was my list for the top 5 managers. Thank you for tuning in. Comment down below what you think. Goodbye.